Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about my coming out story, and sis, this video is getting deep. Last week, we talked about gender and a lot of other tea, so if you missed that one, be sure to watch that video after this one. I definitely think that it's just a little bit easier for me to do my makeup and talk about this at the same time, because I feel like, for me, this is a very long story. There's a lot of parts, there's a lot of things going on, so I definitely wanted to do a get ready with me kind of deal. It's not going to be so much makeup, it's just going to kind of be like me talking to you guys about it while I'm doing my makeup. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm also a little nervous. I've been kind of dreading filming this video all week because I'm kind of nervous to put it all out there, but you want to know what? People are getting exposed today, that's for damn sure. So yeah, let's get into the video. Oh my god, sister, where does this video even freaking begin? I guess we'll just start with like me being little and just kind of like always like knowing like that I didn't like girls. Like I kind of touched a little tiny bit in the last video, but like today we're going in deep. Like I always knew I didn't like girls, but I didn't really know that I liked guys until like last year. But anyway, so we're gonna start this with my first girlfriend. I actually was like in 6th grade, like in like the popular crowd with like all those like guys that are like super masculine, super like straight. But I was like friends with all of them, and so like I think after 6th grade when I like started becoming more like myself, like I didn't even really know what was gay, but like just kind of like being more feminine and like being more, I guess, that kind of stuff. I started losing all of those friends, and I drifted over to my friends who I was like best friends with in this elementary school, because a lot of those guys, they stopped being my friend, and I guess they were weirded out about it, which I mean I can understand. Like when you're that little and you don't really understand it might scare you or read you out or whatever. But anyway, I started hanging out with my group of friends from elementary school. And to show all these guys, oh my god, this poor girl, love you the most. We were actually like best friends for like 4 or 5 years after this. No, not 4 or 5 years, like 3 years after this. 1 year after this. I started dating this girl. We're gonna call her, what's a girl's name that I was not friends with? Rose. Cause that's like, I'm just trying to think of someone, like a girl's name who I don't know at all. Like really. Okay, we'll call her Rose. So Rose and I dated from beginning of the school years, like September to like February. We dated all the way until then. Hi, how are ya? Then I remember shortly after that telling that girl, like I was breaking up with her
because I was bisexual,
and she was weirded out by that. But then we became best friends, and we literally hung out all summer. We were best friends until like the beginning of 8th grade. So like for like a good year we were like actual besties. Like it was middle school, so just think that. Nothing happened. We literally just hung out as friends, but we just gave each other the title of boyfriend girlfriend. But we were best friends, and I knew I didn't like girls at this point, just kind of trying to cover it up, because I mean I had lost all my friends because they all thought I was gay. So I hung out with her. 8th grade we stopped being friends. I started my YouTube channel and that took off. And I remember still being like confused, and I don't know if any of you guys saw this video, but like I made a video like, are you gay, Q&A, and I said that I just didn't label myself because, to be honest with you guys, I really didn't know. And I was also worried about like family members seeing that, and like, you know, because I do know that there are some people in my family who are like homophobic, and we're gonna get into that too, believe me. 8th grade passes, 9th grade I get into high school, and I remember being bullied all the time because I wore makeup, and like that's when I started my beauty videos, and I wore makeup and I was just very feminine, and like I remember just a lot of kids were very mean to me. Then, you know, she blew up on Instagram for her beauty videos, and here on YouTube too, and you know, I kind of proved all those haters wrong. I got out of school, thank God, and started doing online and homeschooling, which honestly is really sad for me because I am a very like, I used to be very outgoing, I used to be very extroverted, and I loved school, I loved learning, I loved all of that, but like the bullying and like constant like fear that someone was gonna say something or do something to me just wasn't worth it anymore. She left high school, started doing homeschooling, which still doing to this day, hello. I do really miss school, and I miss the social interaction and like the friends I had, even though they were all fake. I don't really miss them. I miss my friends from middle school. Yeah, so that was high school. I transitioned out of high school into doing homeschooling, and last year I met Mickey. But this is how, you know, my coming out story kind of happened. I met Mickey, we started talking literally, shit you not, every day for like 4 hours. Which we've explained before. and stuff. But we started talking every day, and Mickey lives in DC, which is a 4-hour bus ride from New York. We both really liked each other, and I went to New York for the Shorty Awards last year. I don't know if you guys remember that, but like I was nominated and everything. And one of my really good family friends went with me, and we both went to New York, and then the next day we met up with Mickey, and Mickey and I went on a little date. This was the day before the Shorty Awards, by the way. And we went on a little date, we went to a movie, we went to lunch, we walked around New York, and honestly, it was so much fun, and like, literally it was on cloud 9 for like a week after that happened, and I was with my dad in LA because we were doing another business trip, and I get a text from my mom, who had found out that I hung out with Mickey because my family friend had told her, which honestly, kind of grateful for that because it made my coming out experience with my mom, it made it so easy. And I mean, like, at first I was very upset, but like I understood that like she had to tell my mom like what was going on if my mom asked, like, you know what I mean? Like that was just kind of her job with being like my guardian on a trip. She told my mom, and then I came back from LA and I was so mad. And I remember I was with my dad in LA, and we find out that I'm going to New York again for BeautyCon, which, how did that even happen? I don't know. So I was on cloud 9. I asked my best friend, Flawless Kevin, to come with me, which my parents both said, yeah, because a little 15-year-old boy cannot travel by herself to fucking New York City. Like, she has to have a guardian or someone to look after me. So I hope you guys like understand why I had like a little guardian. So I asked Kevin to go with me. My parents agreed to it. But then they found out that last time I was in New York, I met up with Mickey, and they were just kind of upset by how I like just didn't say anything. If like they were there, that would have never happened, because I don't even really know why they were so upset. I think they were just upset that like I didn't say anything or what the tea was. They had agreed to let Kevin go, but then they said, no, Kevin can't go with you because you're gonna go see Mickey again and you're gonna have him stay the night in a hotel room, or you're gonna have, you know, Kevin's gonna let you do what you want or whatever. For whatever the reason was. At the airport from New York, after my dad had found out that I was there to see a guy, him and I just had a conversation. I remember ignoring him the entire time I was at the airport, but the time we were boarding the plane, like where I had to get the gate, like before I was just kind of walking around LAX, just doing my own thing. And then, so I remember at the gate, him and I had a conversation about it, and he asked me about it, and he basically had told me that he wasn't gonna support the fact that I was gay, but he was gonna support me, which to this day, I assume it's his same beliefs at that. You know, that's just kind of why I don't really have a very close relationship with my dad, and I kind of just distanced myself from him since then, because it's like, how can you not support me? How can you not support every part of me? It's not like I'm doing anything bad, it's just literally my sexuality, and like the fact that he wasn't very supportive of that was very heartbreaking and hard for me. And so I had like that very awkward conversation with him, and then obviously sitting next to him on the plane for 2 hours, I got home, I ignored my whole family, and my mom came and talked to me, and she's like, you know, I've known for a very long time, like I support you. You know, when you go back to New York this weekend, you know, you can hang out with Mickey, and you know, Grandpa's gonna let you go. You guys hang out, you guys can go on your own, you just have to text him where you are. And I was like, oh my god, so this was everything I had wanted. And of course my mom was so supportive, and she's been so supportive to this day about everything. And so I flew out to New York, I met Mickey again, we hung out all day. My grandpa met him, and it was super cool too. And like, you know, everyone was, at least on my mom's side of the family, so far, very, very, very supportive. God, I'm not even beating my face, I just stopped. So we went to New York, I met Mickey again. After that, we're like, oh my god, when am I gonna see you next? When am I gonna see you next? And then Mickey comes out again to Colorado, because I had secretly booked a flight. He literally snuck out from DC to Colorado. Neither one of us told our parents. He just came out and we spent the day together, and like that's kind of when I like just knew that like I really liked him, and like that I was gay, I guess. And so that's when I kind of accepted it, and you know, was more open about it. And obviously like having my mom's support and like a majority of my family support made that very easy for me. But then my whole family like met Mickey when he came out here to Colorado, and everyone kind of knew, and everyone was very supportive, at least on my mom's side of the family so far. I guess fast forward to when Mickey and I posted our YouTube videos together, and then that's kind of when the rest of my family found out. My dad to this day still hasn't, like literally to this day of filming this, still has never asked me about Mickey. Mickey is out here all the time. He's literally moving out to Colorado, has yet to ask me to go out to even lunch with Mickey. And like, I just find that so ridiculous, like the fact that like, you're my dad and you don't want to like meet the person who I've been dating for almost a fucking year. Anyway, so I posted those videos, and I was actually on a family trip to Silverthorne with my whole dad's side of the family. I didn't really know how people were gonna react to that. But the first day that I got there, my aunt said that she had watched my video. It was the Meet My Boyfriend video that I had literally posted the day before I went up to Silverthorne. And so I introduced Mickey and everything. My aunt had told me like very like privately, she had said to me that like she saw my video and that she's so happy that like that I'm, you know, open about it, and that, you know, she's happy that I'm finally like telling people. And I was just like, thank you. Like, she was just so supportive, and that like really made me feel happy. One of my cousins asked me like, how's Mickey? And like that was kind of, I was like, oh, he's good. And like that was kind of it for that. But like, yeah, no one really else said anything. One of my aunt and uncles, they had asked me about Mickey, and you know, were just being very supportive about it. The rest of the family had said nothing. Up until homecoming, I went down and saw my grandparents on my dad's side, and they said, you know, have a good time at homecoming, send us pictures. We're happy you're doing that. So I mean, like, that was really the only thing that they had said about it. So that kind of made me feel like, okay, they're supportive too. And my stepmom had also asked me to send her photos, which just made me feel good that like, you know, I felt like I got that support from there too. And then one day we went over to my dad's house because there was like a problem at my mom's house. Anyway, it's so complicated. We went over to my dad's house. My dad barely talked to Mickey, but like Mickey met my grandparents. My grandparents were very nice to him. They like hugged him, and I think they know, but like I really haven't talked to them about that. The only one that I really like talked to everything about that is with my mom, and like, you know, my whole side of the family over here on my mom's side. They've all been very supportive, and they literally let Mickey come out here whenever he wants, and they let us stay in the same room, and like everything. They've just always been so supportive about everything with that. And I don't know, I guess that just leads me to today, where, I mean, I'm very open about my relationship with Mickey and you guys, like literally with everything. Like, I guess that's all for now. I mean, I'll for sure keep you guys updated on everything. It's just like, that's kind of how it all happened, and this video may have been like kind of all over the place, which I guess this whole coming out story was, because I wasn't like, okay parents, like let me sit down, like let me tell you. No, they just kind of like found out to that, which by the way, I'm sure they already knew. I was literally posting makeup videos, which doesn't mean that you are gay if you're a boy posting makeup videos, but I'm sure they just, you know, had a little guess. I'm sure they knew. I have heard from like my sister that some of my family members had said that like if I had a wedding, like they wouldn't go to it and stuff, which was very hurtful, and like just show that they just don't support me or like my relationship, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know, I feel kind of weird about like saying stuff like that, but I mean, I guess that's that. And then like, I think there was a couple of family members who I'm like not close with at all, so I could give a fuck less about that, who said that they weren't supportive of it. And then, you know, a couple said that they wouldn't go to, like they would still have a relationship with me, they just wouldn't go to the wedding or something like that. That's their loss, honestly. I mean, like, it's not my problem that they don't want to support me and they don't want to get with the fucking times. It's 2018, like, come on. But yeah, I guess that's where my coming out story is now. I mean, everyone kind of knows about it. I think people are just still choosing to believe it, or they're choosing to ignore it, or they're fully accepting of it and they're being incredibly sweet about everything. So I mean, honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I kind of just stopped doing my makeup and talking to you guys about this, but I'm gonna speed through along my makeup tutorial, finish it up for you guys, like literally do like a little time-lapse moment, you know what I mean? And I'll come back to you guys and talk to you guys with the final look. Alright you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also keep the makeup look. I'm kind of feeling her. But yeah, I really enjoyed talking to you guys. I'm just opening up to y'all and telling you all the tea and stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Follow me on my social medias. I'll leave the links down below. I if you want to keep up with me between uploads, and I'll see you guys next week in the next one. Bye guys.